a man named Woo Young travels back to when he was 18. He discovers that his son is being bullied by a classmate. When he sees the boy mocking him, he throws a ball at him, but Woo Young catches it with one hand. The bully demands the ball back, but Woo Young fakes a move, making him flinch and cover his head. Embarrassed, the bully tries to fight, but a teacher arrives and stops him. Frustrated, Woo Young goes to a convenience store to buy cigarettes, but the store clerk looks at him strangely. When he says he's the girl's father, the girl thinks he's crazy. He tries to convince his daughter to go home with him, but she struggles, and the store owner threatens to call the police. Shocked, Woo Young realizes something is wrong when he sees his reflection in the glass. He has turned back into his 18-year-old self. He runs outside and looks at his reflection in a car window. The car owner rolls down the window and asks what he wants, but when Woo Young asks how old he looks, the driver just drives away. Woo Young then goes to his old friend Deok Jin's house. But Deok Jin mistakes him for a thief and knocks him out. When Deok Jin sees an old photo, he realizes Woo Young looks exactly like his friend from the past. After Woo Young wakes up, he explains that he has turned 18 again. Deok Jin asks what he plans to do, and Woo Young, thinking about his troubled children, asks Deok Jin to pose as his father so he can return to high school. Woo Young enrolls again as Deok Jin's son, and surprisingly ends up in the same class as his daughter, Shura. Shura remembers seeing him the day before. During class, Woo Young receives a phone call from his wife, but forgetting he's supposed to be a student, he tries to answer and gets scolded by the teacher. He pretends he needs the bathroom and takes the call. His wife demands to finalize their divorce, but Woo Young lies, saying he's away on a business trip, and quickly hangs up. In the restroom, he helps open a locked stall door, only to find his son inside, who had been bullied and trapped. Woo Young asks who did it, but his son doesn't recognize him in his young form and warns him not to say anything, or the bullies will retaliate. Worried, Woo Young follows him but is stopped by Shura, who drags him to the rooftop with two of her friends. She warns him to stay away from her. But Woo Young confronts her, saying she knew her brother was being bullied yet never told their father. Shura retorts that she doesn't want their dad involved, then walks away with a mocking gesture, leaving Woo Young shocked. This wasn't the obedient daughter he thought he knew. Later, after learning her brother was bullied, Shura prepares to confront the bully, Ja-sung. But Woo Young challenges Ja-sung first. News spreads quickly. Woo Young and Ja-sung will settle things with a basketball match. Ja-sung, the captain of the basketball team, confidently declares victory. But he doesn't know that Woo Young once had the chance to become a professional basketball player before giving up his dream. Back at 18, Woo Young's stamina and skills are at their peak again. However, at first, he and his son lack teamwork, losing several points in a row. Seeing his son discouraged, Woo Young takes the lead, pulling off a smooth fake and scoring in style, winning the admiration of the crowd. His confidence inspires his son, and soon the two begin to play in sync. Angered, Ja-sung struggles as the father and son duo outplay him. Finally, with perfect coordination, they score the winning point. Years ago, Woo Young's dream was basketball. It was in high school that he fell in love with his future wife. But when she unexpectedly became pregnant, he gave up basketball to raise their children, working tirelessly to support the family. Despite his dedication, his boss gave the only promotion to a scheming coworker with connections, crushing his hopes. Woo Young confronted his boss about unfair treatment, but instead of justice, he was reassigned to a remote rural post. Furious, he impulsively quit. The endless demands of work had already distanced him from his children, leaving a gulf between them. Even when they managed to sit down for a meal together, it often ended in arguments. The pressure of work also weighed heavily on his wife, keeping her awake at night. One evening, as she watched her husband sleeping, she made a drastic decision, one that would completely break their relationship. Overwhelmed by both career and family pressures, Woo Young felt suffocated. Alone, he went to the gym and stared at the trophies and banners from his basketball days. Lost in thought, he walked onto the court, gazing at the stage that once belonged to him with eyes full of regret. He picked up a basketball and executed a perfect jump shot, a reminder of the glory he once lived for. Meanwhile, Ja-sung, frustrated from losing, took out his anger on Shura. Woo Young rushed to intervene but was stopped when someone else threw the first punch. It was Ji-ho, a boy who secretly liked Shara. The two boys fought fiercely. Jasung knocked Jiho down and even broke a mop handle to use as a weapon. But before he could strike, Woo-young grabbed the stick and overpowered him. Jiho then leapt up and tackled Jasung into the hallway, just as teachers arrived to break up the fight. Both were dragged to the office for discipline. Afterward, Jasung encountered Shara in the hallway, but before he could say anything, she punched him in the stomach and warned him never to bully her brother again. That blow shook Jasung to the core. Later, at school, Woo-young saw his daughters suddenly faint. Panicked, he carried Shara to the hospital. Hearing the news, thankfully, the doctor confirmed that Shara was not in serious danger. Watching his unconscious daughter, Woo-young recalled carrying her to the hospital as a child after she was hurt. The memory filled him with guilt. Now grown up, Shara lay quietly, and Woo-young gently stroked her head. Just then, she woke up and quickly pushed his hand away, demanding to know what he was doing. Still unaware that this young man was her father, she questioned why he was even there. Woo-young was both amused and frustrated by her attitude. Not long after, Woo-young's pretend father, Deok-jin, also arrived. De-young, believing Woo-young was Deok-jin's son, thanked him warmly, saying, "You raised a fine boy." Both Woo-young and Shara's friend almost spat out water in shock. Years ago, Woo-young quickly became popular. His boyish good looks, effortless way of spinning a basketball on one finger, and charming smile made him the center of attention for many girls. This marked the start of a secret crush directed his way. Soon, Shara's friend Erin even folded 1,000 paper cranes and confessed her feelings to him. But Woo-young rejected her kindly, explaining that he wanted to pursue his dream of becoming a professional basketball player and couldn't focus on romance. One day, beneath falling cherry blossoms, Woo-young saved a girl named De-young from an oncoming car. Their eyes met in a deep and tender moment, and the spark between them began to grow. For the first time, Woo-young found himself drawn to her. Not long after, a new student transferred into his class, and it turned out to be De-young herself. By fate, the two were even assigned as desk partners. De-young immediately recognized him and greeted him warmly, making Woo-young blush furiously. Her beauty spread quickly, and soon boys from other classes crowded outside the window just to catch a glimpse. Woo-young, though shy, couldn't help sneaking glances at the girl he had fallen for. When De-young greeted him again, he panicked and turned away in embarrassment. After school one day, it began to rain. De-young casually mentioned she hadn't brought an umbrella, and instantly a group of boys appeared, each offering theirs in hopes of walking with her. Woo-young happened to pass by and witnessed the scene. Despite the competition, Woo-young eventually won De-young's heart. But Erin, unwilling to give up, rallied her friends and confronted De-young face-to-face, challenging her in a fit of jealousy. The next day, Erin was cornered and extorted by a group of delinquent girls. Her friends were too scared and ran away, but De-young, who happened to pass by, rushed in to help. With a powerful kick, De-young knocked down 3 of them and pulled Erin away to safety. Having shared such a dangerous moment, the two girls became close friends. Erin, out of loyalty, decided to bury her feelings for Woo-young deep inside for the sake of their friendship. Years later, at a school reunion, Erin had become a well-known lawyer. She eagerly looked forward to seeing her old crush, the once glorious basketball prince, but when the door opened, the boy she remembered had become a tired, ordinary middle-aged man. The female classmates were disappointed, and Erin's hopeful expression turned bitter. Her beautiful memories of youth were shattered in an instant. Yet fate wasn't finished. On a rainy day, Erin unexpectedly ran into young Woo-young again and found herself under his umbrella. For a moment, she wished time could stop forever. Meanwhile, De-young went to the hospital to pay for Shara's treatment, only to learn the bill had already been covered by Shara's gym teacher. At the same time, De-young discovered Woo-young's resignation letter and angrily called him. Woo-young lied, saying he was away on business, not knowing that De-young already had his resignation in hand. She accused him of never being there when the family needed him, even now when their daughter was sick. Crushed, Woo-young left the hospital and overheard Shara talking with her boyfriend. Her words pierced his heart. Despite always being by their side, he was constantly misunderstood. Back at school, classmates gossiped about Woo-young's past divorce. when suddenly he noticed Ja-sung following his daughter Shara. Alarmed, he watched closely. Shara, picking up scattered trash, expected Ja-sung to harass her, but instead he surprised her with unexpected kindness. He admitted his own parents were divorced and told her not to be discouraged. That night, Shara cried alone, unaware that Ja-sung had seen everything. When the teacher arrived and demanded to know who littered, Ja-sung took responsibility and even helped clean up. Woo-young, watching from afar, began to see him in a different light. Later, after school, Woo-young noticed Ja-sung and his friends trailing Sherwoo and followed them. Sherwoo ended up alone on the basketball court, practicing silently. He remembered when his father once asked why he didn't play basketball anymore. Surprised at the question back then, he never realized it was his father, now in his 18-year-old form, secretly watching him. Woo-young longed for his son to open up, but Sherwoo chose to bear his struggles alone. Determined, Woo-young decided to use his youthful identity to step into his heart. From then on, Sherwoo and Woo-young bonded over their shared love for basketball and quickly became close friends. After being discharged from the hospital, Shara often found excuses to visit the convenience store where Woo-young worked. Woo-young, still concerned as a father, helped her carry heavy things and gently reminded her to eat properly even when busy. This tender moment was seen by Ji-ho, who misunderstood and thought Woo-young also liked Shara. Meanwhile, De-young got an unexpected opportunity. During a live broadcast, the anchor had to leave at the last moment, forcing De-young to step in without a script. Nervous but determined, she pushed forward. Midway, the team celebrated a victory by planning to dump water on their captain, but someone slipped, and the water splashed all over De-young instead. This embarrassing moment, broadcasted live, was seen by her children on TV. But De-young handled it gracefully, turning the situation around with professionalism and charm. The live broadcast went viral, and thanks to it, Deok-jin was able to keep her job. When Woo-young heard the good news, he was so happy that he started dancing in the hallway. Passing classmates couldn't help but laugh. Just then, Sherwoo happened to walk by. Embarrassed, he quickly held a book over his face, pretending not to know him. But Woo-young stopped him and insisted on treating him to a meal. Later, Deok-jin came to school to share the news of her acceptance with her son. The two hugged each other excitedly in celebration. Suddenly, Woo-young jumped in and joined them, shocking them both. Deok-jin quickly pushed him away, wondering who on earth this boy was. But Woo-young shamelessly leaned in again. That evening, Woo-young happened to see his wife on what looked like a date with the athlete she had interviewed earlier. As Deok-jin was leaving, she accidentally twisted her ankle. Both men rushed forward to check on her, but Deok-jin only cared about her broken high heels. The athlete offered to take her to the hospital. Watching another man fuss over his wife, Woo-young burned with jealousy. After the examination, the doctor said Deok-jin was fine. While she rested, Woo-young waited outside and bought her a pair of slippers. Imagine the pain, traveling back to being 18 only to watch another man put shoes on your wife. Woo-young returned the repaired high heels to Deok-jin but kept the slippers hidden. Meanwhile, Erin came to the hospital to visit Deok-jin, but her shoes suddenly broke. Just as she was about to fall, Woo-young rushed in to catch her. He then gave her the pair of slippers he had bought earlier. Erin, who already had feelings for Woo-young, was completely smitten. Wearing the slippers, she couldn't stop smiling to herself. The next day, Erin couldn't wait to call Deok-jin out to meet. As soon as they sat down, she nervously asked what to do if a 40-year-old friend fell in love with a high school student. Just then, Deok-jin's phone rang, and she stepped out to answer it. Erin, flustered, buried her head on the table. At that same cafe, Woo-young arrived to see Deok-jin, who was heartbroken from a breakup. Woo-young patiently comforted him. Nearby, Erin overheard the name Woo-young and immediately walked over. Startled, Woo-young and Deok-jin stood up in a panic, but in the chaos, Woo-young accidentally called Erin by name, even though she had never told him. That confirmed her suspicion. He was indeed Woo-young. Just then, De-young returned, saying she had something urgent and needed to leave. Erin tried to reveal the truth but, too overwhelmed, stammered and couldn't get the words out. In the end, she told herself she would say it next time. After De-young left, Deok-jin lied that he had just been talking to Woo-young on the phone. Aaron didn't believe him and dialed Woo Young's number directly. When the phone on the table rang, Woo Young's identity was finally exposed. He begged Aaron not to tell De Young the truth. At school, Ja-sung tried to get closer to Shura by deliberately arriving late. Watching Shura panting as she rushed through the school gates, the class troublemaker was secretly pleased. While the other classmates begged the teacher for leniency, he was happy, because this meant he could finally run laps with Shura. But Shura ignored him. Ji-ho also arrived to insist on sharing the punishment run and later, frustrated, he tossed his own school bag to him, but the Ji-ho kicked it away without hesitation and sped up to leave him behind. The troublemaker could only walk back miserably to pick it up. After class, Shura went shopping with her friends but accidentally left her pencil case behind. When Ji-ho went to retrieve it, he bumped into Ja-sung. Both reached for the pencil case at the same time, neither willing to let go. Just as the standoff dragged on, Shura returned, snatched it back, and ended their little battle. With the school festival approaching, Shura volunteered to prepare photo displays, and Ji-ho quickly followed. The troublemaker also tried to sign up but was held back by his desk mate. In the end, Woo Young raised his hand and filled the last slot. Watching the group leave together, the troublemaker fumed with jealousy and even kicked over the desk in front of him. In the music room, a box accidentally fell and struck Shura on the head. Both Ji-ho and Woo Young rushed to her side. Seeing his daughter's forehead red and swollen, Woo Young's heart ached deeply. Ji-ho, on the other hand, grew jealous but hid it behind sarcasm, mocking Woo Young for having dirty hands. That evening, Shura was working part-time at a convenience store. Ji-ho, after mustering all his courage to confess to her, was interrupted when Ja-sung suddenly appeared. Ja-sung casually bought 2 drinks, completely oblivious that Ji-ho was about to pour out his feelings. The truth was, Ja-sung misunderstood. Shura's heart wasn't moved by him at all. On the sidelines, Ji-ho grew restless, clutching his drink so tightly it fizzed over. Woo Young, trapped in an 18-year-old's body, realized his classmate was about to confess to his own daughter. Even worse, Ja-sung eagerly asked Woo Young for advice. Remembering how Shura once said she hated boys who sang in front of crowds, Woo Young deliberately told Ja-sung the opposite, that Shura loved public singing. To his horror, Ja-sung actually followed through. Even more shocking, the bold performance won Shura's acceptance in front of everyone. The next day, Woo Young overheard classmates teasing Ja-sung about his date with Shura, whether they'd hold hands, maybe even kiss. Seeing Ja-sung's smug face, Woo Young's expression darkened. Determined, he secretly followed Shura to the baseball stadium where the date was set, thinking that in such a crowded place, nothing serious could happen. But then his eyes caught an ad board showing a kissing couple, and he panicked at the thought of Ja-sung kissing his daughter. He rushed into the stadium and sat down right beside Shura. Just then, Ji-ho appeared with drinks. Shocked, Woo Young blurted out, "Weren't you here with Ja-sung?" It turned out, after the public confession, Shura had quietly returned Ja-sung's flowers in private, not wanting to embarrass him. Ji-ho happened to see it all and, seizing the chance, invited her to the baseball game instead. Relieved that Shura had not accepted Ja-sung's feelings, Woo Young finally relaxed. Meanwhile, Ja-sung sat alone, heartbroken. During chemistry class, Shura accidentally burned her hand. Woo Young immediately pulled her to the sink to rinse it, while Ji-ho, watching nearby, grew nervous and jealous. Later, Ji-ho ran to the pharmacy to buy ointment for her, but when he arrived, Woo Young was already there, having done the same. Realizing the ointment was meant for Shura, Ji-ho rushed ahead to reach her first, but when he arrived, he found Woo Young already gently applying the medicine to Shura's hand. For Shura, the moment stirred old memories of her father tending to her wounds. For Ji-ho, it rekindled Ja-sung's earlier words, "Do you like someone?" and Shura's nod. He mistakenly believed Shura liked Woo Young. Another classmate saw too and spread the rumor that Woo Young liked Shura. That night, heavy rain poured down. Woo Young ran into De Young and insisted on walking her home, tilting the umbrella to her side to shield her. When a car sped past, splashing water, Woo Young pulled her tightly into his arms to protect her. For the first time, De Young's heart skipped. She found herself moved. Flustered, she invited him in to change into dry clothes. But Woo Young, clueless, simply took off his shirt right in front of her, leaving De-young shocked and scurrying into her room. At that moment, Ji-hoon appeared at the door with flowers, congratulating De-young for her TV program trending online. Watching secretly, Woo-young burned with jealousy. Seeing De-young smiling happily with Ji-hoon, he couldn't hold back his own sour feelings, muttering under his breath before storming out. De-young, left confused, wondered at his strange behavior. Later that night, the whole family watched a drama together. Mother and daughter both grew emotional. De-young, conflicted about her ex-husband, and Shura, troubled by the strange closeness of her classmate, who was secretly her father. Later, De-young attended a party hosted by Deok-jin. When she noticed Woo-young there, she avoided him, leading to a playful chase. In her escape, De-young slipped and fell into the pool. Both Woo-young and Ji-hoon jumped in after her to save her, only to end up in a comical tangle. After changing clothes, De-young overheard from Shura's friend that Woo-young actually liked Shura. Stunned, she later sought Woo-young out to apologize for her coldness that morning. But Woo-young, overwhelmed, still couldn't keep his feelings locked inside. Woo-young suddenly grabbed De-young's hand and kissed her. But this moment was witnessed by their homeroom teacher, and the shocked reactions around them left everyone stunned. Flustered, De-young pushed Woo-young away and slapped him across the face. After the party, Shura told her mother she didn't want to go to school anymore. De-young became furious, insisting that because she herself had no education, she had struggled in her career. She refused to let Shura give up on her future. Shura, however, blamed her parents, saying she was only born because of their mistake, and accused them of never caring about her. Woo-young, watching from a distance, was heartbroken. The next day at school, Woo-young handed Shura a bank book, pretending it was from her father. When she opened it, she saw years of deposits, each marked with notes about her growth. Overwhelmed, Shura broke down in tears. That evening, she called her dad, telling him how much she missed him and asking when he would come home. Woo-young, also in pain, decided to tell De-young the truth about how he had become young again. But De-young didn't believe him, thinking it was a cruel joke. She warned him to stay away from her children and demanded he return the phone. The next day at work, De-young recalled Woo-young's words and, out of curiosity, searched online for ways to become young again, but only ridiculous ads came up. Feeling foolish, she shook it off. Later, when picking up her repaired shoes, the shop clerk said he was her fan because a student had spoken so much about her. De-young suddenly remembered how similar Woo-young's younger self was to her ex-husband. In that moment, she finally realized the truth. Woo-young and the boy she knew as Go Woo-young were the same person. The following day, the school announced that both Woo-young and Shuryu had been accepted into the national basketball team. Shuryu was overjoyed, but Woo-young felt conflicted. Shuryu called his father, asking him to come see his game. Woo-young, hiding nearby, answered the call, unsure of what to say. That evening, he told De-young that no matter what, he would find a way to return to his real self. De-young asked, "What about your basketball dream?" Woo-young replied, "For me, you and the kids are more important than any dream." Hearing this, De-young felt guilty, remembering how Woo-young had once given up basketball for her and the children. And now, with the chance in front of him, he was still willing to sacrifice it. Woo-young went back to the place where he had first become young, hoping to change back, but failed. The next day, he and De-young crossed paths again. De-young regretted their reunion, believing she should let him live the life he wanted. But Woo-young told her that at first, being young again made him happy because he could play basketball, but what truly mattered more than winning games was being there when his child first learned to walk. At that moment, Woo-young transformed back into his true self. Together, he and De-young went to watch Shuryu's game. Overjoyed, Shuryu told his teammates, "This is the first time my dad has come to see me play. We must win." With their determination, the team clinched victory in the final moments. Woo-young rushed onto the court and embraced his son tightly, his heart full of love and pride. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and drop a heart if you love the series.
Footsteps fade, the echoes call, 1,000 dreams begin to fall. And it's over, it's over. The curtain's drawn, the story fades, but the feeling's strong.
Korean Netflix like, comment, and subscribe.